Candidate Ben Carson today clarifying some controversial comments he made about drones and undocumented immigrants. Earlier in the week, he spoke about caves used to move people across the border, saying, quote, one drone strike, boom, and they're gone. The former neurosurgeon now says he in no way was suggesting using drones to kill anyone. On CNN's State of the Union this morning, he said he would make sure those caves were empty first, using drones as surveillance.
Okay, but I just want to make sure we button this down. So you're saying that in some instances you would advocate using drone strikes to take out cartels that are bringing migrants across the border? Is that what you're talking about? Wouldn't there be some instances where perhaps innocent people might get killed? Yeah, please, let's be very,
lips.
Let's do it.
Listen very carefully to what I'm saying. I said there are caves. There are caves that they utilize. Those caves can be eliminated. There are a number of possibilities. That could be one of them. I'm not talking about killing people. No people with drones.
CNN political commentator and host of the Ben Ferguson radio show is with me. Ben Ferguson, thanks for being here, Ben.
Good to be here.
In a recent CNN ORC national poll, take a look there, Carson placed third after Trump and Jeb Bush. Is it unconventional ideas like this that are resonating?
I think it is. I also think it shows that he's willing to actually talk about the real problems at the border. It's one of the reasons why Donald Trump has done so well is he's not going to test market or make this so PC. And what Carson's saying is, what we're doing now is not working. We need to put everything on the table and look at it. And then drones are something that we can use to cover a much wider, area and not have to worry about using people. I mean, remember when, for example, Rick Perry said, I'm going to put the National Guard at the border. People said, oh, he's politicizing. When in fact, he said, no, I'm not. I'm watching the people come across the border. And what Carson's saying is, I think it's a pretty smart idea because it allows you to cover a much bigger area. He went down there and watched it. And guess what? There's a lot of people coming across that border every day.
So it's one thing to use drones for surveillance. It's another thing to do drone strikes.
Sure.
When we see drone strikes, U.S. drone strikes overseas, whether it's in Pakistan, et cetera, in Afghanistan, there sometimes is collateral damage. Is this country ready to stomach that, used on caves with people trying to get across the border?
Well, I think what his point was, if we watch and we can monitor these areas and we know where they're using these for staging areas, whether it be to stage drugs coming into this country or for human trafficking, illegal immigration, whatever it may be, if we find them using drones and then we can make sure that no one's in there, why not blow them up? To me, it makes sense. These caves are safe havens for illegal activity. They can be used for a litany of things, including possible terrorists that would want to come into this country or drug smugglers or human trafficking. So,
but isn't it different to target a terrorist, Ben, than to target someone? And I'm not speaking of the intentions of any of the people trying to cross the border, because we don't know that. But if you're trying to target a terrorist, that's one thing.
Well, I think if you monitor the site and you know that no one is in there and you see people leaving there and then you can do this intelligence to see if it's empty, I don't think this is a crazy idea. I think Dr. Carson made it abundantly clear he does not want any humans to be killed using drone strikes. But if you have a cave and you know that it's being used for illegal activity and you don't know how far it can go and you know it's empty, if you can figure that out and find out that it is empty, why not try it?
Before I let you go, quickly, Jeb Bush makes this trip to the border tomorrow. This is a pilgrimage, really, for everyone running for president, especially Republican candidates. So do you expect him to address the drone question there?
I don't know if he'll address the drone question, but I certainly think he realizes that he's got to talk about the border and getting tough on the border, especially seeing how popular it's made Carson and also Donald Trump. So I think you're going to see some sort of plan and implying that what we're doing now is not good enough and we have to do something bold and big. Otherwise, a lot of voters, they're not going to listen to you. They're tired of having an unsecure border, and the governors have pointed that out abundantly clear, including guys like Donald Trump.
Ben, thank you. As always, important debate.
Thanks.